Okay, I think we're good. You can see dog blankets in the back. Welcome back to Coffee with Danny and V, everybody. I am your host, Vanessa. Everyone calls me V. I'm one of the co-founders of Mental Labs, and joining me today, as always, is our other co-founder, Danielle Jacobs.
Good morning, ladies. I hope everyone is doing well this morning, as spring is here. I know. I took a walk this morning and I was warm, very warm. Now we live in Tucson, Arizona, so we are expected to hit the 90s this week. So
I can't. Normally you can get through the month of March or April, depending on how the weather goes. But typically you can get through that month without, turning on the heater or the AC. That has not been the case this year.
yeah,
I went into the bedroom last night. Tony went to bed at 7 o'clock last night. It's been a week. It's always a week, but it's always something new and fun and different. I went in last night to go to bed around 9:30, and his pillowcase was just covered in sweat because we hadn't turned the AC on, and it was 80 degrees in here.
Yeah, no, it's time to turn on the AC where we are. So for those of you that the snow is just melting, we're envious, but at the same time, during our winter, we're not envious. I can't deal with the snow. It's great to visit is how the realization I've come to, being a native to Tucson, is that I really have identified it. There was a point in my life where I was like, oh, I want to live in the snow. We had never have snow. And I have come to the realization that snow is great to visit for myself. That's how I feel.
Snow is perfect for 2 weeks out of the year, right around Christmas time. That's the only time I want to see it. And I grew up in Michigan, so I'm allowed to say that. So yeah. That does bring up, though. Okay. Well, let's start off by saying Danielle and I got to see each other for the first time in a very long time last weekend. We are both vaccinated. Woo! Fully vaccinated. But of course, we did get together with some a skeleton camera crew to do some photo shoots for our upcoming promotions and that sort of thing. And everyone was masked and distanced and everything that you can do with the restrictions right now. The governor of Arizona has opened up COVID vaccines to anyone over 16, so that's really encouraging. So anyway, we got to see each other, and it cascaded a whole lot of issues that we're going to talk about today.
Yes, it did. But I want to say it was so lovely to get to see my friend in person. It's been too long, far too long. We've had a couple of things here in person, masked up and stuff like that, that we've been able to come together for work purposes or whatever. But it was nice to be able to, be vaccinated and give you a hug.
Yeah, I'm gonna hug everybody. As soon as they say, yes, I've had a vaccine and you may hug me, I'm going in. Okay, so one of the things that cascaded for me was so you mentioned, Danielle, in passing that you have this little spot on your lip and you just threw it off into the wind like it might be skin cancer. And now I'm having nightmares that you have cancer. So please go get this checked out.
Identified. I need, it's been hard with COVID and everything like that. But I do need to go see a dermatologist. Skin cancer runs in my family. So my dad has had it, my brother has had it. And I have had a small spot that they've been able to, burn off because we caught it early enough. My dad's had to do full on like skin grafts on his head and stuff because of it. But I do have one that I am 99% sure is one because it's like a scab that kind of never goes away. So I've definitely picked up my skincare routine with my sunscreen. Thank you, Vanessa. We keep each other straight. Like I keep her, she reminds me that she's eating the rainbow, and I remind her that I put on my sunscreen. So it works.
And we double check with each other. Did you
Yes.
eat the rainbow? Did you put your sunscreen on? So anyway, all kidding aside, I do want you to go get it checked out because
Yes, it's on the radar, it's on the roadmap, and yeah, so
Yeah.
it's
Right.
happening very soon. Just need to make the appointment now.
Yeah, because summer is quickly approaching. I mean, it's summer for us. It might as well be here because it's gonna be 90 this week.
Yeah, well, and I remind myself too, because I do take walks every morning, outdoor walks. So, you know, I've been much better about putting my sunscreen on. And it's, you know, it's important too for signs of aging. You know, if we want to really protect our skin, you know, and prevent, you know, wrinkles from starting so that we're not always having to take things to try to fix and correct wrinkles, you know, the starting point really is sunscreen and protecting your skin. The same way, you know, protecting your body and your health, you know, I believe that that starts with your diet and everything. For a lot of different health ailments or whatever, I really believe in starting with, you know, with what you eat. It's the same thing, you know, you start with sunscreen to protect your skin when you're going out in the sun. So, and that's been one of those things that I know that I've been horrible with, you know, it's just never been something that was ingrained in me. So I really had to focus on it. I really have to remind myself. I really have to remember to make that a part of my routine. And I think today we get to talk about routine a little bit.
Oh, we do, because I already told Danielle a little bit about this. So she's reminding me. So as I said, Saturday started a whole cascade of things. I wore heels. I don't think, okay, I have worn heels my entire life. I am a short individual. I'm 5'3" on a good day, if I sit up straight. And I slouch a lot, she knows. And so I wore heels like I do, right? But I haven't worn heels in a year. There's no need to wear them around my house. And so I had already sort of tweaked my thigh and my groin area on my left leg by walking around in our backyard. And I didn't really think anything of it, but I put those heels on. And by the end of our photo shoot, which really didn't last all that long, I was in pain. And I came home and I mean, I don't know if you've ever had a groin pull, but it hurts to sit on the toilet.
They're not fun.
It's so not fun. And it got me thinking, do I really need to wear heels when we go back out into the world? I'm not sure that I do.
Right? I know it's a love-hate relationship for me too with heels. Like I love heels. I love the appearance of heels. I love the way that, you know, it kind of makes your muscles pop in your legs and slenderizes you, makes you look taller, you know. But they hurt. They are uncomfortable little beasts.
Yeah, they hurt. And I'm pretty sure that, you know, they're affecting my hips and all these muscles that I haven't used in a while. So I'm not sure it's worth it anymore. So to get back, you might.
I might propose, I'm just going to throw this in. Do you stretch?
No. And Tony said to me, you really should start doing yoga, honey.
Yep.
So stay tuned for that. So Danielle can do yoga poses. You know, we have this series of just, you know, introductory yoga poses on the Menopause app. And when we were filming those, socially distanced, of course, a few months ago, Danielle was able to like get her leg up on her knee. And I was like, how the hell is she doing that? Because I can't do that. I can get it maybe on my ankle, right? Danielle is so much better at this than me. I'm going to say it's because you're younger.
Could be. I'm not throwing that away as like, could be a contributing factor. I definitely believe in like stretching. And I have not been great about doing it over the last year while we've been home. And I've been doing a lot of walking. And for me, and maybe this is where I just, learned about it sooner in life, and it became more of my routine to kind of do that kind of stuff. So I have really tight hamstrings. And what that does is if I don't stretch them, it makes my knee joint like pop and crackle essentially when I'm bending my knees, and it can cause some real discomfort if my hamstrings are too tight. So you wouldn't think, oh, my knees are having issues, but it's because my muscle is too tight. Well, it is. It's very much so. There's so much that actually can come out of yoga and stretching, and it's so good for your muscles and releasing acid and even just stretching those ligaments and loosening up your body, because things also happen when your body gets too tight, and the more you exercise and stuff like that. And that's why a warm-up routine and a cool down routine, we've heard it our entire lives. You have to warm up and cool down when you do an exercise. And I think, discount it a lot. A lot of women that I know are just like, yeah, I don't need to. I'm fine. I'm healthy. I feel good. All this stuff. But it's more than that. It's about, taking care of yourself again from the inside out, as much as health is, as much as sunscreen, as much as, there's all these little things that, we have to think about to really, truly take care of ourselves. And stretching is one of those, and yoga is a great way to do it. It's very relaxing. It does give kind of that meditative feel, which I, as everyone knows, appreciate and like. So,
well, and it also, the more you can, I know this, I'm just not good about practicing it. The more you can stretch and the more you exercise, the stronger you keep your bones for longer. And osteoporosis is a thing that I should have been worrying about 4 years ago and still should be thinking about.
Well, right? And even on the osteoporosis side, as your bones are starting to weaken as we get older, there's things that we can do supplement wise to help, our bones. But the other thing that we can really do that I think women lose sight of as we get older, because we say we're tired, we're busy, we're getting old, is we think that that strength training, weightlifting, and I'm not talking about bodybuilding, but I'm talking about strength training, using light weights to do, and even body weight exercises are great. A push-up with your body weight, doing planks, there's so many body weight exercises that you can do. But again, you're building strength, you're building muscle. And I think that's one of the things that aging women and as we age, we kind of lose sight of or think that we don't need to do. We focus a lot on the cardio side of things, I think, but we forget.
Because we're so concerned about heart health.
Yeah.
Or you should be concerned about too.
Yeah. Yep. Or weight, or it's easier on our bones and our joints and stuff like that. But we need to remember that strength training is so good, because as we age, we start losing, usually you start kind of losing mass, or, depending on how good you are with your diet and stuff like that, you might be gaining more, fat, but you start losing muscle, period. As we age, you lose your muscle unless you work on maintaining it. And that muscle helps hold your bones structurally in place and helps prevent breaks. Those kinds of things, that as our bones are getting more fragile, we need to help protect our bones. And one of the best ways to do that is to focus on, making sure that you're maintaining your muscle mass. It's so important. It also is great for weight loss. We identify weight loss as the loss of fat. And one of the things that I think is so wrong about the perception of being thin and everything is the idea that we call it weight loss, because muscle weighs more than fat.
Right.
So you can be what I call, I guess, a skinny fat person, right? You can be thin with a ton of fat and you're not going to weigh as much as that same frame that has a lot of muscle. And we're so focused on that scale and what that scale says, and it's not the right thing to be focused on. It's about, feeling good with, what you're doing, how you feel, your energy levels, those kinds of things. Do you feel weak? Are you having ailments? And focusing on helping your body with those things. But for weight loss and burning calories, which is ultimately what leads to weight loss, is the calorie burning and how well your body does that, even when you're sitting. Muscle does that more than anything else. So you can sit there and burn more calories by sitting there, the more muscle you have in your body.
Also, the more muscle that you have, the less likely you are to hurt yourself.
Exactly.
So Danielle was reminding me of that because I had to send my husband out for crutches. I couldn't move around my house. I couldn't lay down. I couldn't sit. I couldn't stand. It was it was not good. But that meant that I didn't take my supplements, right? I had them laid out in a little pill organizer and everything. But I was basically incapable of doing much of anything. My house got really messy. I didn't take a shower for 4 days. But I didn't take
heels, all because of heels.
All because of heels. I didn't take my supplements. So that meant I missed my MenoFit and my MenoGlow for 4 days. And I think that yesterday morning I had a hot flash. I can't be sure because it's a little warm here. But hot flashes are seasonal. If you have hot flashes, you know this, right? They sort of taper off in the winter months when it's cooler and your body doesn't have the response, the vasomotor response to heat. And so summer and warm weather can help trigger a cascading bunch of hot flashes. So I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure, I'm like 75-80% sure that it was a hot flash and it was not comfortable. And I was like, honey, bring me my supplements. Bring me my little pill organizer because I need it now.
Yeah. Well, so that goes to everything we've talked about today. Yeah. Consistency is key.
In life, it's the key to everything.
Yes. Yeah. So if you stop taking your supplements that are helping you, and you're going to get those symptoms back, if you stop doing your stretching, you're going to have, side effects from that. If I stop putting on my sunscreen, I get skin cancer marks. It's all the same thing. And it's so interesting. The older we get, the more we realize just how important these routine things are. And how, one of the things I always try to remind people is when you start feeling good, don't stop your routine. Just because you feel good, don't stop taking your supplements. Don't stop stretching your body the way that you're supposed to. Don't stop wearing your sunscreen just because you haven't had a skin cancer mark in a year. That's not there. Your body is doing great because you're doing those preventative measures. Those are all preventative measures. So whether it's your supplements, your sunscreen, or your stretching, those are all preventative. Or the way that you eating the rainbow, those are all preventative. And they're routine. And you know what? Sometimes you get into what you feel like is a rut or mundane, or the routine sucks and it feels like a lot of work. But life is maintenance. My husband tells me that all the time. Life is maintenance. It's 90% maintenance. It's routine.
And you know what? It's okay to find joy in the maintenance.
It is. It is. Do a dance party while you clean the house and do the chores. Find the joy in putting on sunscreen, even though it feels, like a routine that you're constantly like, it feels like work, right? But guess what? It prevents skin cancer. It prevents me from the possibility of having a skin graft later. Sounds good. I take our supplements. I take our supplements because I want to prevent, heart attacks in my future as best I can and help my heart health. I want to prevent hot flashes as I age. I want to maintain a healthy weight. I want to do all these things, so I take our supplements. And I think that all of those things are just so important. And we have to remember that at any age, you need to start thinking about your maintenance, the things that you need to do to maintain your health. And I'm not just talking about beauty maintenance. I'm talking about health.
Right.
Putting on your sunscreen, yeah, it may help reduce wrinkles because you're not damaging your skin as much in the sun. But guess what? You're also preventing a very major health thing such as skin cancer. There's so much more than just, the life is maintenance and beauty side of things, the vanity, whatever, I think some women get hung up on that, but there's a lot of health benefits to being the healthiest you at the end of this life journey that you possibly can. And if you live life to think about it and become the healthiest version of yourself as you move along and do those things that you need to do to be that healthiest version, then you can look back at the end of it and say, you know what? I lived the best life I possibly could. I was active, I was active with grandkids, with my kids. I was, able to keep up with them and not have a lot of health ailments or surgeries or, for me, seeing what my dad had to go through, and he still has to do, like he burns like his skin to try to get rid of the skin cancer. And if I have a way and a path to not have to go through that later in life, I will do it. And so focus on your maintenance, ladies. Focus on your maintenance.
Such a good message. I think I want to leave it there today.
Right.
I think that is something that we all struggle with because, like we said, sometimes it feels like work. But if you can take joy in it, if you can remind yourself while you're taking those maintenance steps, while you're eating your greens and you're doing your walking or you're starting to practice yoga, if you can remind yourself of the why, it's about your quality of life, right? When the wrinkles start popping up, whatever. But the day that I can't run around the backyard with grandkids and great grandkids, that's the day I'll kick myself that I didn't do the yoga now. So ladies, that's what we want to leave you with today. Take joy in your maintenance because it's about prolonging your joy for the rest of your life. We will see you in the next one, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.